Siyabonga, 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 siyanibona. Sila Ibokwe. Singikufake bintsham. Singahlalisa isikhathi eside. To discuss today. Sham. Got.
I don't know why they're watching the president, because the president is very stupid.
Salbolan.
Hello, how are you?
Gila, siyachive.
I can see like you're in a vibe.
Upagele nawe iba ku vibe.
And not that kind of music. Sorry. Not with that kind of music. Forget me.
All right, let me greet the few people that have joined us so far, because I think the rest of them basala lilu president got to again
tickling the countries. Yeah.
Everyone else, good evening guys and welcome. Neraza kumshoweta inkwenu vitoramina isipho sethu wakaslangu, hailing all the way from Atembisa, and we're doing it again. HE.ARTS live chat, where we are having these amazing conversations with amazing people and discussing themes from this book. But more than everything, we're going to be digging into their lives and finding out most beautiful things about their experiences, and we hopefully become better people. Go, SOS, hello.
You fix your life, and then you start speaking like jungle language. Shanghai.
Matakudlayo, Albert. Matakudlayo.
We love Tonga people. We love them.
Bosho Majos.
Proud of Shanghai people.
Oh wow, man! How are you doing though?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm alive. I'm healthy. My anxiety levels have calmed down a bit. Just taking everything as it comes. Yeah, and I'm trying to keep sane. So yeah.
Nice. If you were a fruit at this very moment, what fruit would you be and why?
Sis, man. Wow. A fruit. Oh my God, why is this such an easy question but difficult to answer? Let's see. I think right now I'd be an orange, because everyone needs their vitamin C. Everyone needs to keep update with everything that's going on. So anything citrusy, I think I'd be that. Yeah.
So you'd be a fruit in season at this moment.
Yeah, definitely.
You are forever in season, but otherwise, I get.
Yeah, of course. Hello.
During. Yeah. So for people who might not know this Nyising being, how would you describe yourself? How would you describe yourself?
Firstly, I'm ever evolving, so it becomes difficult to actually explain or describe myself. But I also believe I'm the only one who can describe myself. You know?
Exactly.
I don't know. You know what? I'm just a nomad. Forever adapting. Yeah, I really struggle to answer this question sometimes. But
how so?
I don't know. It's also because I feel like I take upon so many personalities, or so many like pockets within my body, within my sphere, within my world. So it becomes difficult to describe me. I'm Ibokwe. I'm an artist. I'm a healer, as a sangoma, and as an artist, and as a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where we should leave it with that question. I mean, you can ask me what you want to know, but yeah, that's the only way I describe myself. I'm just a human being. I'm walking on the earth with everybody.
Mm.
Even though my own way of looking and interpreting things. So yeah.
And have you found that, do you think you are understood in this space? And um, do you think, especially as a country, are we awake to who and what you are and what you mean, even for us as South Africans? Do you think we are awake?
I think I was born at the wrong time.
Mm. Before, are you too early or are you too late?
Maybe I'm too early.
Mm.
Maybe I'm too early.
Mm.
Um, but this is the thing. If people don't understand me, which I don't really care about at the end of the day, like I give total shits to whoever doesn't understand me or even dislikes me. It doesn't matter to me. But I've always said if you don't understand something or you don't like something or something just wavers out of you, you need to question yourself, you know?
Mm.
So
Mm.
I I really don't think a lot of people understand the kind of person that I am, which also makes me the human that I am with the life that I've chosen to live and the lifestyle that I've chosen to live. I'm not within any boundaries. I'm not within any conventions, you know.
Mm.
So difficult for people to understand me. It will also be difficult for people to understand because I'm a person who's constantly in transformation, you
Mm.
know. So it's going to be difficult for a lot of people. But my biggest phobia is arrogance. I
Yeah.
don't mind if you understand something, but if you're arrogant and if you what's the word in English? Is silungu siyabaleka phela 80 sikashayile. Um, if you're arrogant and you are phobic,
Yeah.
that I fear such people. I
Mm.
don't understand such people, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Not a lot of people understand me, which is fine. Not a lot of people understand the work that I do, which is also
Mm.
fine.
Mm.
Um,
All right.
it's yeah,
Before you get into sorry, ukungena emlomeni, before you get
no
into the
problem.
work you do, I just want us to quickly rewind to growing up. Um, how was it your childhood? I want to know how was your childhood and when did you and art come together, or when did you wake up to the gift of art within you?
So I had a normal upbringing. I'm one of four children.
Yeah.
I had both my parents. Although my dad died in 95, I was 7.
Mm.
A normal upbringing, even with the single parent,
Mm.
my friend, my mother.
Mm.
And I have a twin sister, and I've got two older brothers. And then I
Yeah.
also have a half sister due to infidelities about dad. Ngiyazazi lezi zinto.
Yes,
Those
siyazazi. Our community
things.
knows very well, very well.
So and a normal upbringing. I was normal until I was I was led to know that I'm not normal. And I've always said that you are othered and you are different because of people, you know. So I thought I was
Mm.
normal until growing up. Then I realized, or people made me realize, Uti, you actually freaking weird. You're
Mm.
weird. You fat. You are too much, and
Mm.
which also crushed me along the way. It kind of made
Mm.
me in my own zone, and then I started being a loner,
Mm.
which was good.
I can guess. I can guess that it was good. So, but growing up, what games did you play? Like Bendlalani, were you a guy
No.
with soccer or
Oh, heck no. Oh, prostate-driven games. Hell no. I've never been. It's never happened. It will never happen. Look.
Amakaiti, Amatopu, Itina,
uh,
Amaele, zero.
Look, they were there. They were in my surroundings. It's not like I
Yeah,
didn't try them, but they were not my thing. Mina bengidlala ibhathi nomgusha. Yeah, ibhathi nomgusha, amathini. I was predominantly surrounded by females. Also, I had a twin sister.
yeah,
And
yeah.
because I had a twin sister, I could only be within her friends, you know. I didn't
Mm,
have a lot of guy friends. I did have a few, but not really like strong friendships or
yeah.
anything.
Mm,
I think also, I mean, homophobia is something so big as within the spaces of children, you know, and
mm,
of lack of understanding. So I didn't have a lot of guy friends because I was forever teased and I was bullied.
mm.
But yeah,
So
but I
can I
was,
just,
yeah.
without being sounding ignorant, you are speaking
Mhm.
even about homophobia, and I don't want to sound
Yeah.
ignorant, but how is that when you? How soon did you realize that you are different from everyone else, and then that setting started to kick you out? Because obviously, guy children are guy children, and everyone thinks it's a guy children. I mean, it's just a guy child. And so when you realize, Gucci, you have got, I don't want to say you are different, but when the society is not, you're not living up to what they thought you were going to be. How
Sure.
soon, how early was that? And how did you deal with that journey?
It was early, man. It was onset. As a kid, nje, I remember even at a young age, my twin sister and I used to play with her dolls, and she used to play with my cars, which was so
Mm.
ridiculous to me. I was just like, why do they keep on buying me these things? My God. So she used to play with them for the longest time. And of course now, because now I like different things from guy boys, then of course now I have to cut my time being in the street, you know, because
Mm.
ngifuna ukuyothungela umpophi irogo. Ngifuna ukuyomthungela irogo. And izolo ngimshiye anama-curls, i-dick zementshisi, ngimshiye ngifuna ngiyoqhaqa, you know. Um, and also now I was an artist. I loved drawing and so on.
Mm.
So in a way, as much as I was pushed away, I also moved myself away from all the negativity. So from a very
Mm.
young 8, 10, already by then I was just like, nah,
Mm.
I'm with
So you're speaking about your twin sister, and I don't know her, but I've seen her in your pictures.
sure, yeah,
Uh, I want to speak about growing up with a twin because I'm also a twin and I know a lot of twins. And I know that when we grow up as twin,
sure.
often the outside or the external forces try to start creating a competition. Uguti, this one
Oh
is the
yeah.
smarter one, this one is the. So, how have you dealt with that? And especially being the twin that is in the public eye?
So it wasn't always like that. So
Mm,
actually, reverse happened. For the longest
mm.
time, I was the slow learner, and she was actually a grade after me, you know.
All right.
So for I also became quite timid and quite silent.
Mm,
Um, the loudest. She
mm.
was the loudest. She had friends all over. Like bekayinkinga elayisini yami. And quite popular, and she's very beautiful, and she's lean, and
Mm,
she's a
mm,
typical girl. She's beautiful. She's very beautiful. And we're quite close, and we've been close. But obviously through growth, you kind of go your separate ways because you've got
mm,
things that you like and you enjoy different things.
mm,
Um, but we still have that strong bond besides twin bond, you know.
mm,
And through growing up, and then it switched.
mm.
And then now she became a bit more reserved. And I
Mm.
was like, I'm here for everything. I'm taking, don't care, don't care. And of course, becoming an artist just really shot up. And in school already, I mean, I started doing theater when I was in high school, grade 8.
Mm.
Grade 8, I was at the Hillbrow Theater and I was already doing theater. So in school, I was already popular. Like, and I went to a school in Hillbrow, mind you. Like, around Hillbrow, I was so popular. Like, I was known, I was known by the hookers. I was known by the gangsters, the people who sell pot on the street. I was known by everybody. So it kind of switched, you know, because of the work that I do and because of the person that I've blossomed to be. So now she still finds it weird. I mean, I think before the lockdown, we went to a party, and she's not a person who likes famous people or who likes to be. So now I realize she doesn't know the people who she's meeting, and I'm introducing to her because I know them on first basis. And then, did you see what's that? And I'm like, and she's like, nah. And I'm like, that's Msaki. And she's like, who? And I'm like, Msaki. And like, what do you mean that's Msaki? But you said, I'm like, yeah, but the thing is, we won't call her Msaki. She's my friend. So now it's becoming weird for her now to be surrounded by popular people. When she was the popular one, she was the one who was introducing the timid twin brother to everybody. And then always be like, and she'd be like, yeah, we stubborn. So now it's so weird having to do that. But it's kind of interesting. So yeah.
All right, I'm gonna read a poem which is going to lead us into our conversation. So
cool.
This poem I wrote it around 2010, and I was told the brief was simple.
Poetry.
The brief was simple. It said there's a lady at a bar and she's sitting there, and you just need to make her laugh or get her attention. So here's my poem. It says, it's titled Do My Love.
Okay.
Do. My heart skips a beat while my eyes are having a feast. My babies, my 2-liter bottle, black like me. The beat beat endlessly like an African drum. Do. My heart dances to the music of your name as my tongue praises the land where your umbilical cord was planted. My love. The beat beats on and on, endlessly ushering the sunset, while I find myself battling to express, battling to impress, battling to ignore the force of your existence. The end.
What year were you in? First year?
Excuse me?
First year? Or were you in matric?
No, this was first year. First year, Albert.
Wow.
The reason why I'm reading this is for 2 reasons. One is I must speak about the line, my 2-liter bottle, because I know that you said, Wuti, one of your discriminations or the things that made you stand out or be left out of the circle was being a big guy. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that in your work, I remember watching a piece of yours that was at the downstairs theater, the ballet piece.
Right. Yes.
The ballet piece. That part of your weight was also a big part of that conversation about peace.
Yeah.
So how have you, through theater, been able to do you think that theater has given you a platform to heal the scars of the little boy, or do you think that theater has given you a platform to build a new narrative for the big boy?
Both. Because also I understand there's still young, chubby, fat boys who are coming after me, you know.
Exactly.
And I mean, I remember when I created that piece, it was our fourth year out piece. So fourth year physical theater dance, you have to create now your signature. You have to and at that point I was wondering what should I even talk about? But then I started working from the self, and I was like, there's things that are happening right now with me. I am gay. It's something that's been troubling me for my entire existence. I am fat. It's also been troubling me. And I'm bound to be Isangoma, you know. So I'm dealing with all these three worlds and more. And body politics is a huge thing if you are going to be within an institution like Wits University studying physical theater, where it's predominantly lean or tiny bodies. All my classmates used to complain about me. But from all of that, it started interest. I started creating conversations within the self about body politics, you know, about how I didn't have to push myself so much as what people think. Because people think, oh, you're big and you're doing dance. Oh, I'm sure it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard. I was top achiever for a reason. It wasn't hard. But basically, it was a way for me to kind of change mindsets, you know, influence a different thinking and a different way of seeing, you know. So I had to, and also there was Utandazwa, who was in the same. She was also chubby,
Exactly.
but now she was really struggling. She was really struggling because now the rest of the class. The thing is also, I mean, of course, as varsity students, we mean, you know, so. To be that person to tell her, Uguti, look, there's no other way. So if you don't step up your game, you will crumble. But also it was building my self-confidence even more. It was remembering that
point. But I mean, when we're still discussing this issue of body politics, and you are speaking about being in the institution of vets, but I've come to notice that it goes far beyond those four walls of Wits University. But even in the industry, you know, guys that are bigger like ourselves will play roles that are comedians. Like you'll be a joke. You definitely be a joke. You won't be the CEO. You won't be the chief of the love interest dude. So how do you think? What do you think needs to be done? Because we are not. There are people like us in the world, but we are not represented on screen.
This is. I remember I was doing a show by Chris de Villiers. I think he was the director. Chris de Villiers, and I was with Odwa Mabulana's wife.
Yeah.
And Odwa was very quick and sharp with her tongue. She was cutthroat. Khoza, I mean, hello. And then she said to me, Albert, you're going to be typecast. You're going to be the policeman, you know, the big belly policeman and so on. That's going to be your life and your career. And she said that so nonchalant, like, like, militias or anything, or no,
yeah.
And I think going back to what you just asked me, this is the reason why I started creating my own content, where I could be the main guy.
Exactly.
No, I am worthy of being the main guy. You know, and midnight staring. And I'm worthy of having to have a show for an hour long focused just on me, you know, because we definitely need to talk about these things. We exist, we are here. My body doesn't define who I am. It's a body, it's a carcass. If we're all lean, it wouldn't look good. It would be boring, you know. But I think that's the intelligence that people belied that God had, because he couldn't have created everybody Amkondo. We would be aliens. It would be a totally different narrative, you know. So the beauty of Tepiso is remembering Aquaman. And that's the reason why I started creating my own content, because I was like, if you're not gonna fucking give me a chance, I'll make a chance for myself. You know, I'll make sure the world, not only people in my society, in my community, in my country know, but the world is going to know and is going to see this body. There's a second piece that I did, Slice by Slice, and I did it with Robin Orlin. And we have a camera so close onto my body, on my naked body. And that's just to say, eat it. It is there. No, if heartthrobs are on television and everybody's going gaga, I'm going to feed you my body, and you'll start seeing the beauty of it, because we need to change the conditioned mind.
But now, but the conversation that you're having is very critical, and we need to have that. But
sure,
most of these conversations, especially the ones that you are hosting currently, which are very needed for this time, are happening in spaces which are very limited, almost elitist spaces. So how are we then able to, because in the mainstream, the spaces where many still consume, that narrative that you're speaking about, representation is non-existent. We continue to play the stereotype, the cop that is lazy, the cop that is running behind and then is going to fall and then is going to be holding a pie. You know?
I mean, it's difficult, because that also now means that we must become the writers, you know, or because even just the effed up thing. I mean, I remember I did some Zanzi Magic movie, and the director was going on and on about how we want to show real life and this and that. But I'm like, how do you want to show real life where this character is not Isangoma Marumuto Tagatai, but you keep on referring this person to Isangoma? You know, so you know all those things. So so now we have to be creating that content to challenge those people, because remember that what sells. Stupidity sells. Sensationalism sells. You know? So now you are coming and challenging what makes their money. It's difficult. But that's why I create the work that I create. There are a lot of stuff that we have as a people, as individuals, that we need to be putting around. You know? So,
just whilst we're still on that topic of Isangoma and being described as Umtagati, but that misunderstanding. A few weeks ago, you were playing a character on TV where you were a healer, right?
Yes.
And I want to ask you this question, because it came to my mind while I was watching that. The fact that you are an actor, so that I know, but where do we draw the line in? Don't you think there's a danger in casting a person who in their real life is that particular thing? Whether it's, I don't know how to phrase this, because I've even seen it.
I get you. Yeah. You cast a person to play a gay role.
Exactly. And then where do we draw the line in the acting and the real life?
Sure. I never, so the reason I took this one is because it was nice and it was clean. And what I was grateful for, because now I sang in my audition room, says sometimes.
Labels.
The director called me. I was still in Switzerland. I remember when we were about to shoot it. I was still in Switzerland. The director called me and he was doing his research first and foremost. He wanted to know what happens in a cleansing, what needs to be there when this is there, blah blah blah. That's the one reason I took that job. I usually don't take such jobs. I don't take gay roles. I don't even go to the audition. But I know there are people who do. And for me, it depends on you. Listen, to really transform the character. Really transform the character.
But then do you have a conversation with your actor, for example, in such situations, the person you're going to be in a scene with, for example, maybe you're going to cleanse me in this piece, and I'm maybe of a different belief system than,
which
you.
Is something happened.
And so do we then have this conversation, because I'm not dealing just with an actor, but I'm dealing with an actor who can be able, in this same space, can transcend because of the setting. And so did you have that conversation, and how did it go?
Right. Okay. So what also happened, I didn't want to say it, but now that you bring it up, I have to say it. And I don't think it's a bad thing. But the lady I was working with, she's Christian, and she was very anti everything that was done, you know? And of course, at some moments I was rolling my eyes. But then I question, why then do you call yourself an actor? Why do you call yourself an artist? You know? And I accept all beliefs, and I respect them. But you need to realize that you are acting here. So another thing, I myself, mina mangiphumela endlini, actor as a sangoma, I have to tell my people, look, it's not your time to shine. Stay here or come with me, but sit down. It's not your time to shine. You know, I have to. The thing is another thing that people don't know is that ancestors were people, they lived just like us. So once you communicate, they hear, they listen, right? So you have to say to them, calm down and also protect me. Because anything can happen. We are Africans, we know this, you know. But be with me, protect me, but sit your asses down. I love you, I respect you. Mwah. Sharp. And then we ended up with the actress who was Christian, and she was anti everything that we were doing. She didn't want to get into the water. She didn't want the pepper to be burnt. We had to bring in that other thing they burn on set. All that la-di-da and rubbish and so on. I respect them, but I sat her down. I sat her down and I made her understand that nothing's going to happen to you with acting.
I think that for me, I would also have had a problem because it's different. Like I said, if they had consulted a spiritual leader like yourself about the process, but used a neutral siposetu, you know, an actor who is just an actor who's in that role. Because then I know that it's two actors in the space. But at that moment, I would also be feeling like, I don't know, you know, it would be touchy territory. But I think I understand that we are actors. But I just think that
I think the director did that most importantly for representation. He didn't just want to do something, the cleansing and so on. He really do his research, which is something that I'm grateful for. He really wanted to do his research and know the ins and outs of what needs to happen. It doesn't necessarily mean everything in it and so on that were there. Young and Bella. So
exactly.
Jeopardy. Yeah.
All right, let's move on this conversation. I'm gonna read another piece. It's titled "Not Yet Uhuru."
Yes.
Yeah. Freedom. Many have asked us, are we free or are we just dumb? We've laughed just to ignore their questions, pretended to have amnesia, even when those who caused us the most pain continue to treat us as unwelcome guests in our own land, in Kululeko. We have sounded the call to come together, but no one came. We've sat until there were holes on our chairs. We've stood patiently until our shoes could no longer carry the weight of our wounded souls. We cried, like water gushing out of a broken pipe, until we realized No one was listening. No one cared. Our peace chants slowly turned into struggle songs, and the tales of our fathers returning home as heroes has long reached our sell-by date. Black child, we are on our own, but still, we waited. Shh. Dear freedom, when they ask you why we waited, please tell them the truth. Please tell them we didn't wait because we believed you to be true. Tell them we didn't wait because we feared what the rest of the world would think of us. Tell them we didn't wait because we forgave them. No. Remember, they've never asked for our forgiveness. Please, tell them the truth. Tell them we waited because we didn't know that we were waiting on ourselves.
Mm.
When
did you write that?
A few years ago, maybe 2 years ago or so.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts quickly before I get into it?
I concur with it. And it's something that's been brewing, I think, in all my works and even works that I've done.
Exactly.
I've always questioned freedom. Is it tangible? Can you smell it? Can you feel it? Where is it? And when is it? And I know there's high moral ground people will say, freedom is in the mind, or freedom is in that, and blah, blah, blah. And then there'll be people who say you are ungrateful. I mean, that ANC has done so much for you people, this and that, blah, 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 blah. But I still question my freedom. I still question it. And I question the different levels of my freedom. I question the level of freedom as a person, and I question freedom within my own people, and freedom of the mind. So I've been questioning this freedom.
I've seen that in your work, you're not just dealing with body politics, but you're also dealing with politics generally, because you get in your work, I've seen you use native language. I've seen you use music that is original to us, that is us, but then I've also seen you are most probably one of the artists that tour more than anyone in our country. No, I mean, we've got people that are touring with productions, but they're not touring as individuals, as artists, so you are one of those. And what do you think makes your work so much in demand abroad, but also why do you think people at home are so slow to wake up to your work?
Oh, that's a vast question. Okay, so first and foremost, I mean, I took a decision. This was in second year, and I said I will never ever do any practical exam in English. And trying to reroute the beauty of our languages, and of course, to do that in an institution is quite difficult. And I faced those difficulties having to work with people like Helen Iskandla for my performance credits and stuff, where she wanted translations, and I was like, fuck that, I ain't gonna give you translations, Same thing happened with Greg Holman when I did Write, and there was Craig Higginson before we worked with Greg Holman. And the beauty about Craig Higginson, he used to take my scripts to James Ngombo and Mam Tembi Mtali Jones, and they would mark my writings. So I've always wanted to outline that our educations and institutions kind of influence us to think and to perceive and to see the world in a certain way. I've always said institutions like WITS, and the thing is, WITS is a ice tray. The students are in the columns, and a whole lot of shit is poured into us, right? Which is the education. And if you stay within the columns, of course, the shit will become concrete. But if you swim out, then you can be more intelligent than what you are being fed. So the idea that our education kind of limits our creativity and limits our backgrounds and limits the people that we are has something I feel should continue for the rest of my life. It's going to be there in everything that I do. And like you say, yes, I started working abroad in 2013, 2012.
How did that come about? How did that come about, and why do you think you are in such demand that side?
So so that came about when I was good friends with Gerard Bester even before him teaching me at Wits. Gerard Bester used to also run the Hillbrow Theatre. And I had been a fan of quite a few people, but he knew that I was also a fan of Robin Orland's work. And this one time, the piece in the loading bay, he invited Robin, and Robin, I think, flew all the way from Cape Town to come see the work. And then I was the talk of the town when she went back to Paris, blah, blah, blah. And then her agent came through because they had a France interchange, whatnot. I met up with the agent, and he wanted to view my work and know me and blah, blah, blah. And that's how I got my international agent. And of course, I started traveling with my own work, Influences of a Closet Chant, which was first work that I created that I nearly failed, but I didn't. Because this is the thing, my life at Vis has always been a struggle, and I've had to fight more than I had to study. My 4-year degree took 6 years. And that's because I was fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. I even fought with Jenny Lee Crew. Hence I ended up with you guys doing radio voice drama. Because, like I couldn't find a space or a module that would accept my entirety, and that I could project my own stories and my own life. We are not doing BSc, we are not doing commerce, we are not doing science, we are in the art department, and that freedom needs to be there. So it was very difficult to find those people who can be of the same thinking. And,
do you think that
the demand abroad, I think, is created more and more because of having done research on audiences abroad in my first 2 years of working abroad, and also understanding European people, and also understanding where are these people. So it's I mean I've always had people question nudity and do you think nudity is the reason why you always booked? And I'm like, it's part. So what I do, because now I've learned these people, I'm going to be Sarah Bartman, but I'm going to be a very intelligent Sarah Bartman. I'm going to take her lineage, and I'm going to turn it over to them, and then I'm going to say, you still fetishize over black bodies, but you want me, and you love me, and I love you, and I will be here, and I'll perform for you. And black bodies are still monkeys in circuses, and then I use that narrative because it's there,
And what are you saying beyond, okay, you see that the narrative is there and you are questioning, but at the end of the day as well, what are you then saying to speak back to that space, to them, about our stories? Are you transporting more than just the black body being a freak? Are you also saying the black body is a freak, but who can fall in love, who bleeds, who's human?
Sure. Firstly, it's outlining that they are missing something. They don't have a soul. And this is what I've told them over numerous times, even in interviews. I tell them, you guys don't have a soul. And this is the reason why you need a lot of Africans to come into residencies, to come into your space, you know, because we have a soul. We have a soul, and we take your money and we go feed our families. But more than that, my works outline different and a lot of issues.
Yeah.
And the thing is, once you see them at first glance, then you'll think, he's just talking about Africa, but I'm actually talking about the whole world. About vice versa of the placement of the work. Saying, actually using Africa and using Africa as a third world country, but we made you. So it's it's playing games constantly. But it's outlining the beauty of us as Africans, but also of us as a human race, and saying that we do actually influence each other directly or indirectly.
Yeah. All right. Good to sing Ashawa Iskati because I have so much to ask you still, but time might just get to us. What is your vision, your dream for the South African industry?
Wow. Oh, you're gonna make me quite emotional. And I think I'm becoming emotional because of everything that's happening right now. Everything that was in your poem, that we are alone. Sipho, fuck. I know I should be quicker because time. I wish somebody who is an artist and who knows the ins and outs of the game, and I'm just not talking about this big industry of celebrities and people who are faces and dolls but have no talent. I'm talking about a person who knows what it is to be an artist. I wish such a person can lead at least that portfolio in the cabinet. Because these fucknuts don't know what they're doing. I only wish, because in a few years' time, they're going to realize that artists are the only people who will not be replaced by machinery. So I hope and wish they realize that much quicker.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Selengo 20 seconds. So Gibongega Kulu for this conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for saying yes. And I think people need to just continue to look out for the work that you are doing. On the other end, my book is available on Amazon. For everyone who's watching, please download the electronic version or otherwise the hard copies after lockdown.